There's quite a lot of troubled youth in the world today, like a lot of stuff you hear about. I know locally there's a lot of stuff like stabbings and gang-related crimes and stuff like that.
Crime is a really big issue in my country right now. There's lots of bad things happening, and I don't think the police are doing such a good job.
We have a number of problems like the gangs. They've grown to around 30,000.
Se calcula que son más de 30,000.
Nuestros padres están siempre trabajando y trabajando.
Our parents are always working, so they don't have time for us. And the gangs are almost like a substitute for the family you never had.
Many of the young people are unemployed. Therefore, that feeds into another problem, which is migration.
Almost 4 to 5% of the country wants to leave because of reasons related to unemployment.
Politics in Ghana have always been based on racism and violence.
Racism is another thing, and I'm not just talking about black-white racism. Basically, anyone that's different from you.
The issue of global warming is a major issue for Guyana right now because we're below sea level. Flooding is a major problem here.
But I'm really worried about landfill sites. I don't like the idea of using up all the space that we have just to fill it full of rubbish.
We struggle for people to have land to cultivate, but today they're selling their land because they can't get enough money from their produce.
Some of the poorer countries are losing out because they can't afford to pay the higher import taxes.
Cada vez más mi país está siendo más pobre.
My country is getting poorer and poorer. Everywhere there's developing countries, poor people are struggling more to get by.
Today, it is easier for people to buy cheaper products from Mexico and the US, so this has created great poverty in the rural areas.
The so-called superpowers, I don't know, the IMF, whatever, these people are really putting pressure on developing countries like Zambia. The other thing is that it's corruption, child abuse, child labor, sexual abuse to children, and HIV/AIDS. Como equipo Nahualek Balan.
The work I do is with the Nawal team. We're a group of 5 young people who work with street gangs. We try to help them stop the killing and avoid being in violent situations. We also educate people about why we live in such a violent society.
We try to help young people cope with the ever-changing environment of HIV and AIDS. Some of them lost their parents. They accepted the situation that they can still live without their parents.
We started on with the Race-Free chain, which is a pledge specifically targeting organizations. Basically, just says, they'd eliminate certain behaviors within their workplace. And then they sign on to this pledge. They put their organization's name, then they'd put it up in a place of public place where everyone can see it.
People just need to learn about other people's cultures, I think. Basically, not be afraid of of differences.
The changes have to start with us, really, because if we don't do anything about it, if we don't make our voices heard or anything like that, then nobody else is going to do it.
We're selling fair trade products currently, and fair trade basically is just where the money goes back to the farmers, the wages are higher, so they're getting more money. Before the World Trade Organization meeting, we sent lots of things to Peter Mandelson in order to make him aware that he had a responsibility to do something because he's the one who can change it.
We've got a compost bin, so we put our food in that and grass when we cut grass and stuff.
Maybe rather than getting them to be rich, we should take a step back and just be happy with what we've got.
I think that we need to stop caring so much about material possessions and focus more on things that are important, like family and friends.
If you want to do something and you really feel in your heart you can do it, other people will copy you and then everyone will do the same.
Standing up for what you believe in can make a big difference, and that's why I joined the Justice and Peace group, because I wanted to feel like I was doing something.
Whether you're in England, Africa, the United States, or even here in El Salvador, I think if we, who have few resources and difficult conditions, can do something, and want to do something, then surely you can too.